Hey everyone, welcome in. I'm Zephyrin, and today I'll be your host, and I'm so glad that you're here. We've got a really special stream today, and we're going to be playing Stardew Valley co-op, and we're going to be talking about what's actually happening to gaming right now, and we've got two incredible guests to do it with. So first, I'm so thrilled to welcome Congressman Maxwell Frost. And Congressman Frost represents Orlando in Florida's 10th Congressional District, and he is the only Gen Z member of Congress. So welcome, Congressman.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. It's so good to be here.
Yeah, and we're also joined today by one of the most beloved Sims creators on Twitch, lilsimsie. And if you're a Simmer, you already know her. And if you don't, you're about to. So Kayla, welcome.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for being here today. I am so excited about this. I genuinely cannot wait. This is going to be so fun. So thanks again.
Yes, I'm so excited today. So as we dive in, I want to hear from both of you. So Kayla, I'm going to pass it to you first. What got you into gaming and what does it mean to you personally?
You know, I've been playing games forever, like for basically my entire life. I can hear Congressman Frost like hoeing things in the ground in the game right now. Yeah, you got you're getting started. We're ready. But start clearing things up. That's good. I've been playing games for as long as I can remember. I played with my parents and my siblings when I was young. I've been playing The Sims forever as well because my name is actually Kayla Sims in real life. So growing up was like, this game was named after me, so it's like my game. And it means the world to me. It's all of my friends. It's my like hobby. It's my job. I love gaming.
I love that, and same here. Congressman, you're a gamer yourself, and honestly, one of the very few in Congress. So what does it mean to you, and what brought you here today?
Well, actually, I gotta say with The Sims, growing up, I played The Sims all the time, but I was a big SimCity person.
Oh, me too. I loved SimCity.
Yeah, I mean, it's on brand that a politician like SimCity. I actually, when I was a kid, I liked to make the cities, and then when they had, like, I forget which one, where then you could, like, put, like, robots destroying everything in tornadoes and stuff like that.
Yep.
I always enjoyed making a city and then destroying it, but I was a big like SimCity person. I loved like Roller Coaster Tycoon and like kind of stuff like that. But Sims always was a big part of my life growing up, and it was a big hurricane thing for me too. Like whenever we had hurricanes, I had all these videos of me just sitting on my huge, big ass desktop playing Sims. And yeah, and taking a step back too. This is just important too because it has implications when we talk about corporate monopolies, corporate greed, and what private investors can do to beloved franchises and games and things that really impact us across the entire country.
Yeah, definitely.
For sure. So like, before we get into it, we are taking action to fight back against this deal, and there are 3 ways to get involved right now. You can sign our petition. Our lovely moderators will post that in chat for us. You can RSVP for tonight's Players Alliance general meeting. It'll be done via Zoom and their Discord, and join our Discord too. And all those links will be there for you in chat. So we'll keep coming back to those kind of as we go. So what do you guys say? Are you ready to start playing some?
Oh, I'm ready.
I already started.
Yeah, I know. He's already started. I've just been standing here.
I know. I've been running around.
No, you need to. That's the right thing to do. Okay, I think step 1, in your little cabin, I think there's like a box on the floor. That should have some seeds in it. So we need to open that and then get those planted and watered and everything so that we can hopefully make some money.
Oh, is that you're supposed to make money?
Yeah. so that we can like, buy more seeds and upgrade things and
run your little farm, So this is actually like one of the most beloved indie titles like ever, like the games ever made. I made everything. We were talking about that earlier. And it costs like $15, which I think is outstanding. And it's continuously updated for free.
Oh yeah.
Just, like launched like a big update recently where you could like marry 2 new people. So, Congressman, have you played Stardew Valley before?
So, I mean, technically yesterday I played to like get my bearings and understand the game, but I've never played before. But this is really reminding me of like Animal Crossing a lot.
Yeah.
It's like I'm getting those vibes. but this is like my first time playing the game.
Oh, I'm so glad that we get to show you around. I think that's also totally fine. Like this game, I think is pretty beginner friendly, but also it scales up a lot. If you like, I've got over 1,000 hours in Stardew Valley. For context.
I was watching this video. I had like a debate with my staff because I watched this video where a guy was saying, "Never sleep in this game." Is that what is that a controversy? Like, what's the?
You know, that's an interesting take. I think that there's levels to it. People that speedrun Stardew Valley, they sleep a lot because they're like skipping days. So they'll like water the crops, go to bed, and then water the crops, go to bed over and over until they're grown quickly to save time.
Oh no.
Oh.
So right.
I didn't mean to do that.
You're fine. We just lost one parsnip. They're cheap. So if you use your hoe on the ground, you can like clear up a space, and then we can hoe everything, and then we can get the rest of yours planted too. I can help you clear some of this. I'll like chop some of these trees and stuff, so we've got some more room.
And so the goal is to make the farm.
Sort of. There's kind of like a few goals. At its core, like the general daily gameplay is like farming and collecting resources, and you can eventually get animals and stuff. But the real like storyline of this game is that we used to work this like horrible corporate job for this company that is like taking over the world. It sounds familiar. And you've like quit your job to go and run your grandpa's old farm, and it's like kind of overrun right now. You're like the newbie in town, but everybody loved your grandpa, and you're like kind of trying to help the town get back on its feet and like restore everything. Yeah.
So, I'd like to also talk about the other side of the gaming industry. So as we know, there's like the deal that's happening right now that could change the entire gaming industry as we know it. And most people have no idea that it's happening. So a group of private equity firms are trying to buy out EA, as we know, which owns The Sims, EA Sports, Madden, FIFA, Battlefield, and a lot more for $55 billion. So this would make it like the largest leveraged buyout in history. And the leveraged buyout means that the debt is loaded onto the company itself, not the investors. So EA is going to be loaded with like $20 billion in debt that it has to pay off, forcing it to cut costs through layoffs and increased monetization. So I want to point out that this group includes Jared Kushner's firm Affinity Partners, Silver Lake Partners, and the biggest of them all, the Saudi Arabia Public Investment Fund, which would own 93% of EA if this deal goes through. So, Congressman, can you break down what a leverage buyout actually means for a company this size and what it means for EA workers like those in your district and all gamers in general?
Well, I think one of the most important things that's a part of this deal, especially when we talk about the leverage buyout portion of it, is the fact that on paper, they're going to be paying a lot more than what the company is worth. But when investors do this, it's because in the back of their mind, they're saying that when we own it, we're going to make it worth it. And you have to ask yourself, how are they making it worth it? Well, they're making it worth it by firing tons of people, by selling off parts of the company, by completely changing the thing that the company produces, the games, by figuring out ways to monetize the fan base even more, right? And you know, you could see that through things costing more, subscription packages costing more, the DLC packages costing more, different things like that. And you could see some pretty big changes to the games you know and love. The other thing is the human aspect of this, and I know this for a fact that they will be utilizing AI to essentially fire loads of people, whether it's developers, artists, or different folks who work there, to cut costs and make the leverage buyout worth it. And so when you have a company that has that much debt due to a buyout, the investors and the people who own it are going to make some big moves to try to pay off that debt, and it's going to come at the expense of the workers that work there and of the fans that enjoy what the company produces.
Right, for sure. And like, you signed a letter with more than 40 of your House colleagues raising the alarm about how badly this deal could impact gaming and workers. And on it was Senator Warren and Blumenthal, that like y'all sent a letter to the Treasury Secretary Besant over national security concerns of this deal. So like, what are your thoughts on like what should happen with this deal?
I think what needs to happen is the FTC needs to stop it, sue to stop the deal. This isn't something new. The FTC has done this on multiple occasions. When Meta was trying to acquire a company just a few years ago, we saw this. We've seen this happen multiple times. And actually, we have an ability to impact that as well, which I know we'll talk more about later. But we want to see the FTC step in. And it's really for multiple reasons. I mean, the Federal Trade Commission is there to help protect U.S. workers and people in the United States and stop corporate monopolies. So that way consumers aren't paying more for the same thing due to a buyout or due to a merger. And so that way workers aren't put in a tough position. And if we're really honest with ourselves, the gaming industry is already in a not good place in terms of corporate consolidation. We've seen massive layoffs. I think in the gaming industry alone, we've seen 35,000 jobs be cut. And this means that workers and people who create the games we know and love have less places to go to, right? And when they're not getting the pay raises they deserve, the compensation they deserve, or there's unfair labor practices, they have nowhere to go because it's all the same companies owning everything. And the FTC is an institution in the government that's supposed to step in and say, no, right? Then say, no, this merger that's happening is going to be bad for US workers and US consumers. And that's like the 1-2 punch. When it's bad for both our workers and both the people who consume the product, it means it's not in the best interest of our society. And I'm very concerned about what's going on in the gaming industry, especially because Saudi Arabia is essentially trying to acquire every part of gaming you can think of. It's gonna put us in a really tough position in terms of national security, in terms of censorship and what that government believes, and in terms of the workers who create the games as well. So I really think the FTC needs to step in here. They can sue to stop the merger. The Department of Justice can also sue to stop the merger as well. I think there's so many reasons why they need to do it.
Yeah. I completely agree. And I hate to interrupt you, but how is your energy looking in the game? And maybe we should go to
my
bed.
energy's kind of low, and it's really dark.
Yeah,
Like,
do you need help getting back to the
nighttime.
cabin? Oh, you're good, okay. Yeah, you can go inside and go to sleep, and then if we just click through it, we can go to the next day and we should be fine
so
again.
sleeping's okay?
Yeah, sleeping's okay. Don't worry about what that person said.
Okay, because that one guy in the YouTube video said not to sleep.
Yeah, I don't know what they were talking about.
All right, I'm going to sleep.
Fall asleep anyway. So, like you said, this deal has to be approved by these regulators. And again, just like another one is the Committee on Foreign Investment in the United States,
Yep.
which is chaired by Secretary Bissent. And one question from the audience was, what power does the Committee on Foreign Investment actually have to impact this deal? Like, how does this work?
It's a process that they're gonna have to go through to finish this acquisition because it's a foreign. Things are a little different when it's like someone in the United States buying a company solely versus when a foreign company from a foreign government or foreign nation is buying a company as well. So this is a really important step in the process. And the thing that should give us all hope is that there are a few steps to this process because it's such a big acquisition and because it's another government buying the game. And we know why they're doing it. I mean, they've made it public that their sovereign wealth fund is attempting to have a huge stake in U.S. gaming and essentially add to the soft power of that country. What does that mean? It means like the cultural dominance that that they'll have over big parts of the world, the United States, and gaming is a big part of that. We've already seen them make major acquisitions on a lot of other different companies as well, especially in the sports gaming and sports betting world as well. And so this just means they're trying to consolidate, they're trying to own everything. And this process helps ensure that the foreign company isn't doing it to the detriment of U.S. consumers and U.S. workers and national security. And I think when we look at a country like Saudi Arabia that's engaged in horrible human rights abuses, that we know doesn't share values in terms of, I'm like really concerned about censorship in the games as well when we talk about queer people, LGBTQ plus folks, and different things like that. So this part of the process is important and is one of many steps where this could be stopped or delayed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And one really big thing to kind of add on to what you said, just to kind of like wrap your brain around a little bit about how big the gaming industry is, it's actually larger than film, TV, and music combined.
Wow, I didn't even know that.
I know. I
Big.
didn't know that
Like,
before
this
this
is
either. That is like
really big.
unimaginably big. Yeah.
Yeah. So like
Yeah.
this is, it's not just like, yeah, like there's a lot of money that's
Yeah.
involved in this stuff. It's
For sure.
astronomical. So for those that you may not know, kind of like Representative Frost said, The Sims is an EA game and also has one of the most vibrant LGBTQ plus communities in all of gaming. Since the Saudi PIF, which is directly controlled by the Saudi crown, is planning to own 93% of EA. So like Kayla, what does this mean to you personally for the game you've built your whole platform around?
You know, I think I, like a lot of other members of the Sims community, are really, really concerned about that. I mean, like Congressman Frost said, the Saudi crown has a history of human rights abuses. They don't really have a great human rights track record. And it's really scary to think about this game, The Sims, that has long been known as like one of the most, if not the most inclusive games in the industry. I mean, it's been like breaking barriers for 25 years. To think of that being owned by someone like this and like sorry, my cat's gonna start screaming because she agrees. To think of them, the game being owned by someone like that might potentially censor it or try to restrict LGBTQ plus expression in the game, and like sort of roll back a lot of the developments for diversity that we've been making over the years, that is really, really scary to us.
Right, and that's exactly why we're here. And like, I feel like we're all kind of lost, and this is such a good direction. So I want to remind y'all again that are like hanging out with us today. All 3 links are pinned in chat. You can sign our petition, join the Discord, and RSVP for tonight's meeting. And if you're on mobile, I want to encourage you to minimize your keyboard so you can see the pins and stuff. Like if you're hanging out on Twitch. So, you know, it's easy to hear of all of this and feel like it's too big, like the money is too large and like the people involved are too powerful. But I want to drive home that this is the most important detail. Gamers are not a small group, like I was saying.
No.
We're one of the largest communities on the planet, more than the film, TV, and music combined. So we've got this. We can actually fight. So I want to talk about what this actually looks like. We actually have a question from the audience again. So does signing this petition actually matter? So Representative, if the audience asked if like non-US residents can also sign, so like, does this matter for us to do this?
Yes, petitions matter. And for people who don't know, like before I got into Congress, I was a community organizer and I come from organizing, and I'm really a student of the history of large social movements in the United States. And I know a lot of times, especially with everything going on right now, and you're looking around and it's like every morning there's just like a crazy thing that you feel like you can't have an impact on. The thing I'll tell you is we as a people in this country have dealt with things before that have felt insurmountable, but we've been able to figure out ways to organize together and look at a problem, look at the people around us as part of the solution. And that's what it means to be an organizer. So I want you to know that I know it can feel like one person signing a petition isn't gonna like stop the buyout, and that's true. One person signing alone, if one person signed a petition, that was it. It wouldn't stop the buyout. But what organizing is about is that it's not one person. It's thousands, it's tens of thousands, it's hundreds of thousands, right? And that's what organizing is about. And so petitions help and have a long history in the US and the United States government of helping us draw attention to things that people don't know about. Because I can tell you guys for a fact that a lot of members of Congress, that I would say probably most, don't even know this is going on.
Yeah.
So like you're sitting at home right now, you're watching the stream. I promise you, there's like a 70% chance that your current member of Congress has no earthly idea about this acquisition and what it means to you as a gamer, or to you as a developer or an artist or this and that. And so petitions, number one, help us show that X amount of people give a damn about this. But then also reaching out to those offices and like explaining what's going on and why it matters to you is also really important, because you would be, believe it or not, politicians don't know a ton of stuff. No. And so a lot of times, I know what, and so a lot of times, yeah, I'm shocked. And so a lot of times it's up to the people to organize to both like educate and like shake, not physically shake people, but kind of like figuratively shake people like, hey, like pay attention to this thing. And then also give personal stories. I always tell people when I'm in DC right now. When I'm here, I'll have like 20 meetings in a day. They're all really like short, so we can meet with a lot of people. But when I'm home, and not home, home's in Orlando, but when I'm in my apartment here and I'm like sitting on my couch and I got my Taco Bell and I'm about to like decompress or whatever, I think about not the meetings where people gave me a bunch of facts and figures, but like stories, like this is why it means a lot to me. And the fact of the matter is a lot of members of Congress have kids or they themselves are gamers, and we need to like get more people activated. So petitions can be really helpful in raising energy and raising the stakes of a fight that we're engaged in.
Yeah,
Right.
and you know what? I hope that this stream is really inspiring to people on that front, because like I contacted my representative and now look where we are,
Right.
So I don't expect you all to play Stardew Valley with yours, but it's worth reaching out to them. Also, do you happen to have any of these mixed seeds, like what I'm holding
Yeah,
above my head?
I was gonna say, like, what are you carrying on your head? I thought
Yeah.
you were gonna hit me with it. There's no combat in this game, right?
There are mines, but I don't think we're gonna get to them today because all we've done so far is hit rocks. But if you want,
Oh,
we
yeah.
can go look around the town if you'd like while we talk. But also,
Okay,
if you have any of these mixed seeds, we can plant them.
Oh, I don't have any. What?
Oh,
what
that's
should I
fine.
be
That's
doing
fine.
to get them?
Sometimes some of the random leaves will drop them, but if you don't have any, it's not a big deal.
What do I use for the weeds?
You can use your scythe to hit them, like this.
Okay. Okay. And then I can sometimes get some seeds from that.
It's like these weeds, like the little leaves, like over here. This kind that's like more of
okay.
a square is what drops them. I've got 3 though, so we're in a good spot.
Okay. No, I'm gonna get more.
Okay. And if you find any, you can plant them.
The talk about the tools kind of reminds me, like the petition conversation that we have kind of a lot. Petitions work, but they're one tool in
Yeah.
many tools out of your toolbox. Like you wouldn't fix your whole house with
Exactly.
like a screwdriver. You have to have different things. So this is one tool that we have, and coupled with other things, we can make a difference that way.
That's what I always tell people, because oftentimes it feels like you're told to do something in politics and you're like, okay, but like, is that one thing gonna change everything? Like a common example is like voting is very important, right? Like we want to be able to like have a voice in the leaders that represent us, and if we don't do that, other people will step into that power for us. But voting isn't that end all be all. It's not like the only thing we can do. It's not going to save all of us. And there's a lot of things that we can do. And the fact of the matter is, and not to get all right and left, but like the far right will use every tool in their toolbox, and I think it's important that we do the same. So petitions, reaching out to your member of Congress, doing things to make sure that we uplift it. Actually, too, I have in my district in Orlando, we have a massive EA building that has been built, and I've actually been in it as well. And so I've been trying to think about ways that I can possibly go there and maybe like talk to workers, or like even like do something in front of it to educate people. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Yeah, that's really powerful.
Yeah, it's over in the Creative Village.
Yeah, I haven't even been there myself.
Oh yeah, it's like an EA Sports.
Yes, yeah, they have a big office here. A lot of there's some people on the Sims team that work out of that office as well.
Oh really? Mm-hmm. Oh cool. So, yeah, so I was like thinking about like maybe we can do. I don't know. Like I don't know if you'd be down. Maybe we could do like a press conference or something in front of.
I would
don't know.
absolutely. We can talk.
Yeah.
Also, I need to go to
Let's
bed
see.
because I'm so tired. I can't. My
Okay,
character's going
I'm
too
gonna-
slow.
I wanted to talk about like your organizing experience because like what you've done is really impressive. So, Congressman, so March for Our Lives. So before you ever ran for office, that's something that you were like an up and coming organizer with. So you organized communities and who decided they had had enough and wanted to fight back. So for those who haven't organized before, like what do those kind of first steps look like for people?
I first started organizing when I was 15 after the Sandy Hook shooting happened, and I didn't really know much about. Okay, cool. Sorry, I wanted to wait for you to.
You're fine.
I don't want to like get into bed while you were. Oh,
You're fine.
wait, it's saying I have wait for other players.
Yeah, it's okay. I'll go use your bed. We can trade.
Oh, am I in your cabin?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's the nicer one, so you can have it.
Oh shit. Okay. Oh, my bad.
You're
Okay.
totally fine. Don't worry.
Okay. Sorry.
No,
So,
it's fine.
After the Sandy Hook shooting happened, I started to organize, and the first thing I ever did was actually I did a petition at my school. And it's because I didn't really know what organizing was, and I really wanted to make an impact. And for people to know, I'm a musician. I went to like art school. I'm a drummer, and that's really all I wanted to do in my life. And I started organizing when I said I want to end gun violence, and then I looked at the people around me in my school as part of the solution. And it can be really daunting, but I think the most important part of organizing is getting with other people and organizing with them, especially ones who have done it before. And like the cool thing is, all around this country, there are groups organizing on a lot of different issues, right? Whether it's housing, ending gun violence, fighting the climate crisis, anti-war efforts, the work that you guys are doing, right? And making sure that we fight corporate greed in the gaming industry. And the cool thing is, when you do that, not only will you learn about efforts going on in your own community, but you're gonna form friendships, and you're gonna like be able to talk with people who have been doing the work, and that's so important. Fascism thrives when the opposition isn't talking to each other and when we're in isolation. And it's really important that you create friendships and that we're actually like commiserating and organizing with other people, so that way we can actually make the change that we want to make.
Yeah. Like talking about like the more like tools in your toolbox, don't forget to call your representatives to let them know that like, hey, this is going on. Do something about it. And we have resources in chat that'll be like pinged out to you guys. So please take the time to do that, because it really does matter.
It really does.
And even people like that agree with you on the issue, right? And you're like, maybe I shouldn't hit them up because they're with me. You never, they might not know about the thing you're talking about, you know? And so like, reach out to them. It's important.
Totally. Did that with my representative. So Kayla, your community is massive and they're fired up. So what would you say to the simmers who care about this but aren't sure whether getting involved actually does anything? So do you have any like words on that? So like,
Yeah. You
go
know,
ahead.
I understand like that this feels very big, and it kind of feels like, you know, what can we do? It's like such a big deal. So many, like so much money's involved. These big, massive companies are involved. But there's no point in just sitting back and letting it happen. You know, like the worst thing that we can do is band together to talk about this and to help push back, and like drawing attention to it, getting this petition signed a bunch. It really, really can make a difference. Even like if the deal does eventually go through, we can keep applying that pressure on EA to like maintain the values that we're hoping for, and like push back on like, you know, this aggressive monetization strategies and these AI things they're trying to incorporate. We can push back on that too. You know, there's a lot of power in numbers, and there are a lot of us, and we've really proven time and time again how much our community can successfully organize. And I think we need to do that here too.
Absolutely. Totally agree. It's something we're super passionate about.
Wait, I found a geode.
Oh, good.
What is that?
We can go open them if you want.
Yeah, can we open the geode?
Yeah, okay. If you come back to like where the cabins are, you can follow me. I'll show you where Clint is.
Clint?
Clint.
Guy.
Oh, nice. Dude, Clint is the guy that opens the geodes?
Yeah, he's
Okay.
I'm curious to hear what you think of him when you see him.
Okay. Sorry to interrupt.
No, you're fine. We gotta play the game too while we're talking.
Yeah, fine.
Oh, good. It's a
Yeah.
balancing act.
Well, and the other thing too is, to what Kayla was saying, is a lot of times when you're organizing, you know, we're organizing to win this fight, right? And it is a big thing that's going on. I mean, it's a foreign country, and Jared Kushner like trying to buy a huge gaming company and make massive changes. But we do have tools to help stop this thing. But also, what we're doing is we're working to stop that, but we're also building like power for gamers that can be used in other fights as well. So when you sign the petitions, when you start organizing, oh wait, where'd you go?
Sorry, I went into this build. I almost brought you to the wrong one. I was gonna bring you to the museum. Sorry.
When you start organizing, though, everything you guys are doing right now is about this fight and the next one that you don't even know exists yet. And that's really important, because building power will help you as gamers continue to have an outside, more of an influence, and be able to talk about things you're against or for. All right, is this Clint?
Yeah, so you can talk to him, and he'll make you pay him, but he can open your geode.
Oh my god.
So with all this conversation about organizing, I want to share something that the Players Alliance has already done, because I think it really matters. So this organization that we're working with today is member-led, volunteer-run, and uniting gamers all across all backgrounds to fight corporate greed, and that's taking away the joy from gaming. So the petition to block this deal has nearly, I think we just hit
Yeah, I'm seeing everybody in the
50,000
chat. We
signatures.
just hit 50,000 signatures just now.
Oh my gosh, you guys, seriously, thank you so much. And it's growing really, really, really fast. So members also traveled to DC, have met with offices, including Senator
Oh,
Sanders.
you got something cool.
Oh.
Sorry.
No, what did he get?
He got, it's, what is it called?
It's a malachite.
All right, let's go donate it.
Okay.
Follow me again.
It says it's a mineral.
Yeah, we can donate that to the museum.
Is it not a watermelon? It looks like a watermelon. There's a museum?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to like complete it. It's really cool. There's so much.
Ooh, Gunther. Dude, Gunther looks sick. Gunther looks sick.
So members of the Players Alliance traveled to DC and met with offices including Senator Sanders, Congressman Chuy Garcia, and Congressman Frost himself. So to both of you, I want to pass to Kayla first. What gives you hope through all of this situation?
You know, I think it's so inspiring to see like the outpouring of like support for our cause, and also like the outpouring of just the way people are showing up to talk about this deal and talk about why it's bad. I think the Sims community especially has been so vocal, and I think that's so inspiring to watch people already care this much and like really be doing what they can to help stop it.
And how about you, Congressman?
I mean, I think I 100% agree, and I hope people can see that when like big things are happening and you feel like you can't have an influence in it, know that organizing together with other people means you can always have an influence in anything going on in this government. And I know it's a crazy time right now, and this is going on, and there's a million other things going on. It feels like too much, but like honing in on something you really care about and organizing together to stop it is such a powerful thing that's going to matter in this fight, and again, in the fights we don't even know about.
Yeah.
And I think using like kind of being a part of the Sims community, like Kayla and I, we have seen what we can do through organizing through charity, and imagine what we could do for like the future of gaming.
Yeah,
We
totally.
channel that energy, because we've proven time and time again we can do something like that.
Okay,
So-
hold on.
Wait,
Follow
I
me.
accidentally gave it to this chick.
You
I
gave it to Penny?
No, I didn't mean to give it to. I went to talk with her and she said thanks and she took it.
Oh my god,
What
like
the
just
hell?
thanks period? Like she was just like mad?
No, it said, "Is this for me? Thanks." And then
Okay,
and then
good.
I don't have it anymore.
Okay, yeah, you gave it to her. Sometimes they're mean about the gifts you give them. So that's
What
good that
the
she was
heck? I want it back.
it's too late.
Back, honey.
Okay, come here. I want to show you something else. You're gonna like this.
Okay. I was trying to kill Petty.
Dig in this dig in this trash can. Or just click on it, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, you got seen. Did he judge you?
Yeah, he said, "Stop that yuck."
Try this one.
Is it this guy?
Yeah, he's mad at you now.
Okay, I'll look the other way. Hey, stop that yuck. Damn.
Come here, this one. Oh, there's everybody's over here right now.
Okay, wait. Let's just hang out. Hey.
Okay.
As they're getting judged for digging through garbage, I want to talk about what you can do today to throw this deal in the trash.
There you
can
go.
put your petition right there. You go.
Hey.
This petition.
Sebastian told me, asked me why I was digging in trash.
All right, come here. These ones won't be watched by anybody.
You can call your representatives. And you can join the Players Alliance Discord to see what our next steps are, because we've got some things cooking up. Okay, so we've got maybe like 11 minutes left together. So we're getting kind of close to time, and I want to make sure that everyone leaves here knowing the top 3 things of why this deal is going to impact gamers. So Kayla, can you tell us why we should care about this situation?
Absolutely. Well, you know what? I think number 1 is that aggressive monetization will be the new standard. Like EA is going to need to raise revenue through bad business practices, things like starting to have more microtransactions. We're seeing stuff like that in The Sims right now with the new creator marketplace, increasing costs, stuff like that. And this is like the easiest way for them to do it, right? Is to like aggressively monetize to get money to pay back that deal. They have like $20 billion in debt. Also, mass layoffs is a huge concern. Because of that debt, they're going to need to cut costs. And that means that it's going to be mass layoffs at the company, possibly closures of studios, and they might even start using AI to replace those human employees. And lastly, we're really worried about censorship. We really have no reason to trust the Saudi monarchy, especially given its human rights record with LGBTQ plus community, and we don't really trust them to not censor The Sims or any of the other EA games.
Absolutely. Definitely think you were right on the money with that. So 3 things you can do today to join the Players Alliance and fight to block this EA deal. Again, you can sign that petition. You can join the Players Alliance Discord, and all these links are going to be popped in chat for you guys. And you can RSVP to the 8 p.m. Eastern meeting tonight to find about what we're doing next to escalate things and keep pushing back. And we're getting more tools in our toolbox for this. So again, all 3 links are going to be pinned. So please don't let this tab close, at least with clicking one of those.
Yes, please.
So right now, Congressman Frost, before we kind of dive into maybe like a few questions that we might have from the chat, where can people follow your work?
People can follow my work at on Instagram or TikTok or Blue Sky. I have 2 accounts. One is at Maxwell Frost FL, which is my personal account, and then the other one is at Rep Maxwell Frost, and that's my government account. And so you can keep up to date with the work that I'm doing. We're going to continue to engage on this, so of course on this issue, but also on a lot of the other issues I work on as well. And my random opinions on music.
Valuable. It's good.
Okay, I think we can go to bed right now because tomorrow I'm going to show you how to give those glasses you got out of the trash to someone.
Okay. Wait, I just gave a rare rock to somebody.
Yeah, that's okay. We'll get another one eventually. I mean, we won't, but you could.
Kayla, so what should Simmers be doing right now? Do you have guidance here?
You know what? Sort of like we've been talking about already with things like the petition and contacting our reps and joining that Players Alliance meeting tonight. But also, I just think staying loud and like staying together on this and organizing, it really, really does go a long way. We do not need to sit back and let this happen. I know it feels big, it feels scary, it feels like out of our depth, but it's not. And there's a lot that we can do to push back on it.
I absolutely agree. And, you know...
so does my cat, sorry.
One little thing that I want to point out as well, you know, like, there's things like, even if this deal still goes through, there's still stuff that we can do together afterwards. And at least we're proving to ourselves that we can do something together, and I hope we'll carry that energy into other things that are going on that we're passionate about.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Right. And I do have a question, if you don't mind.
Crow.
Just a few minutes.
Did we get got by a crow?
He ate my
That guy! How dare! Evil
Dude,
crow.
I'm against gun violence, but we might need a gun in this game. The crow ate my plant.
Okay, now we're anti-crow as well.
I'm anti-crow, dude. What the hell was that? Okay, turn.
So we did have like a few questions here. If you don't mind, we have like maybe just a few minutes left.
Okay.
So Congressman, can you give some sort of comfort to those of us with severe anxiety around contacting our representatives? And if you have advice on what the easiest way to do about it?
Yeah.
And personal information that you might have that like makes us feel like we're comfortable with approaching this situation.
Well, the first thing I think is important to always remember is they work for you. Like, your representative is paid for by your taxpayer dollars and voted into by you and your neighbors to represent you, even if they're of a different party than you, right? And I believe that they represent everyone, no matter what their immigration status or who they are. Every human in that district they represent. And so just like, I don't know, let that empower you because they work for you. And a lot of times politicians like to make it seem like they are on a pedestal or they are above other people, but they are public servants more than they're not bosses, they're public servants. And so just keep that in mind. They work for you, and literally their job and what they get paid to do is listen to you and act on your behalf in DC. And so always remember that. The other thing I'd say is there's actually a few different ways you can reach out to your representative. So if you go to their website and you can go online and figure out who your representative is, it'll lead you to their website. And when you go to their website, they have the phone number which I always encourage, calling the office and, talking about what you believe in. Always remember that on the other end, it's usually a staffer and usually a pretty young staffer. So it usually won't be the actual person right away. So just keep that in mind as you talk to the person. But know that even if they don't answer and you leave a message, everything gets logged and categorized. So for instance, like I'll come in on a Monday and I'll get like a sheet that's like, all right, here's everything we've received, right? And it'll be like, you received 300 emails, 200 calls, and 100 this and that about the EA buyout. And this many people were against it, and this many people were for it. I mean, no, who's for it? Like, yeah, you got one email from Jared Kushner saying we're cool. No, but and I say that because when those numbers pile up, that's what's brought to the actual member of Congress, and oftentimes we'll read through a lot of them. And I gotta be honest, guys, when the phone is ringing off the hook in an office and you're getting tons of emails and letters and stuff, it literally changes the environment of the office. Everyone's talking about it in the office. It has to be top of mind for the member. And so just remember, you're not just calling into an endless void. Everything is categorized, everything is reported. And that's why the more calls, the more emails and letters that you can send into a member is really important. The other thing I'd say is remember that members of Congress have a local office. So there's an office somewhere in your community. You don't have to go to DC to talk to interact with your member of Congress's office. You can go to a local office. You can walk in letters. Let's say you organize with gamers in your community, and you can walk in and deliver some letters. You can walk in and speak to somebody. You can set a meeting. I highly encourage everyone to engage locally as well.
I love that you bring all these things up because, especially pertaining to the phone calls, like as I host conversations about this with a lot of different people or see comment sections, a lot of the misinterpretation about how those phone calls work is like they've got bigger fish to fry, that kind of stuff. But like it's like a tally system. So those phone calls are so valuable. In addition to that, no matter who your representative is, they're still like left or right. This is not a partisan issue.
No.
This is something that they're still supposed to represent everyone. Doesn't matter who you are, especially, like no matter what.
Yeah.
And I hope don't give away your voice before you've had the chance to use it.
No, definitely not.
I absolutely agree. So Kayla, I wanted to ask you, can Sims creators expand the buyout campaign to other EA game communities? Like, do you have any pointers on that?
I really hope so. I would love for like this to hopefully inspire a lot of the other creators for other EA games. And honestly, I think beyond just EA games, this deal impacts the gaming industry as a whole. So I hope that other gaming creators might feel inspired by this too, to start talking about it. And not just the creators, but the players. We're relying on like all these people in our huge community, as we know, like the biggest community in entertainment, to talk about this and help us to spread the word so that we can block this deal.
Right, exactly. And I want to just talk about how amazing the Players Alliance has been in this, because if you're a creator or, a game, like just someone who plays games and you're not necessarily a creator, the Players Alliance really is a great directional force for us. And many hands make for light work. So if we all kind of like push in the same direction together, we can get a lot done. So
Definitely.
Players Alliance is a really great resource. So I encourage you guys, again, I want to leave you, because we're running out of time here, with one last reminder. Sign that petition. Please make that phone call to your representative, and also join our meeting tonight, because we've got some things cooking about what we're going to do next. So I wanted to thank you two today, honestly, so much. This has been such an enlightening, encouraging, inspiring conversation. Like, I feel so full and ready to move.
Me too. I feel so great.
Right.
Thank you so much for being here.
Yes.
No, thank you guys. Wait, what do I do with the glasses?
Oh no, I was gonna try and bring them to Evelyn. I don't know if we have time.
We don't have time to bring. Oh, okay. Well,
Well, that's up to you.
can I bring them to Evelyn?
Thank you both so much for your time and raising awareness for this fight.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Okay,
let's go.
we're going.
Run.
Sorry, that was me looking at my staff.
Go.
We're running. We're sprinting to Evelyn.
I wanted to join all of you out there for being here and caring about holding these giant corporations accountable. So, like Maxwell digging through that trash, let's throw this deal in the trash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I want to see you tonight in that meeting.
She's not in here.
So-
Hold on.
Oh no!
I have to write the new. Oh, here she is. Here she is. Here she is. Here she is.
Oh, I love Evelyn. Thank you, dear. I've been looking everywhere for my glasses. They become filthy. Oh, do I
found
get
them in the
anything?
trash.
Or...
No, but she does actually like that. So that wasn't a mean gift.
Okay, good, good.
But you
All
did
right.
just give an old lady glasses from the trash can.
Yeah, I know. I don't need anything out of that. You know? It's also like reminding me of Pokemon too.
Oh yeah, a little bit for
Like
sure.
these buildings.
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't even go in them, but there's a store and stuff. So.
Unfortunately, I have to.
Yeah, we are at time.
But next time, because I like this game now. I'm in
Yeah,
it.
I'm so
Good.
glad.
So fun.
That's great news. Well, again, thank you so much. This has been amazing. I really appreciate your time.
Yeah, it's been great. It's been great. Thank you so much for having me on, and thank you so much for organizing to the both of you and Caleb for using your platform on such an important issue, and organizing and building power.
Yeah, thank you so much.
I think we would love to work with you again as well.
Yeah.
I think we can really do a lot of great stuff.
Yeah,
Let's do
absolutely.
it. Wait,
Have a
Caleb, favorite coffee in Orlando?
Oh God, I don't drink coffee.
Oh, never mind. Matcha? Are you a matcha person?
I don't know. I'm like a water person. That's so
Okay.
boring. I should have prepped a better
Favorite
answer.
water in Orlando? Go. No.
This water bottle that I have with me.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye,
Bye.
everyone.